Yo, what's up guys? It's Reek back again with another Mario Ranked Monday. In this video, I'll be doing a few games and a tip of the day and a quick glance at the deck list. Alright, let's get right into it. Alright, for the tip of the day, we have Don't Be Greedy against decks that might choose to starve. Which means versus a deck like UP Luffy, when you have a hand of Monet, Summon Chopper, and the one-cost event, you could leave one down up for the one-cost event, but UP Luffy might not even attack into you, and you also want UP Luffy to swing into you anyways, right? So if you leave a down up, that's encouraging not to swing because they know you might be on animals. And so if you do play the Monet, they'll be less likely to choose to starve, and you're less punished because next turn you can play your animal chopper, and then if that gets an animal, they're going to swing into that and you'll leave the Dawn up. And then you can use the event that way. Alright, here's a quick glance at the list. This is actually the same list that I was using in my updated Mario deck profile and guide. Please check that out if you haven't already. And I guess the things to know is the two 1-0s, because that's probably what everyone looks at when they're like, why are there two 1-0s? So the 3-4 Summon Chopper is just there because since you go through your deck a lot with the animals, at some point you probably will find if you go through it enough, and you can summon the Richie with that card, and so basically it comes up a lot even though it's a 1-of. And Sanji is just Sanji. Alright, on to the ranked games. It's 3 games this time, and I have it around 2 times speed this time, just to make it so I can commentate a little bit better maybe, hopefully. So we'll see how it goes. But first up, we have Green Purple Luffy. I choose to go first, and we get a pretty decent hand. We are missing our 7 down play, but we also can just kill with the 6 cost if we really need to. But we do shuffle that back because we're optimistic. And then we summon our 3 chopper, and then they play the rush or green 0, and we counter it twice just because we want that chopper to live, especially since we're going to Nami next turn. We know that we still are going to keep hand size, and then we swing 5 twice into the 0, and then we expect them to go, so we counter this, and then we block with chopper. Even better if it was reverse order, of course, but I didn't really, I always wanted to make sure that the chopper lived, and so that was the best way. And then we just play our Newgate, kill the pudding, swing into twice into the 0, and play our chopper. Green Purple Luffy then plays the 2 cost event, Rush on 0, Rush Nami, so they can kill our Newgate. We obviously don't have enough counter. And then we're looking to play Rayleigh here. We put the bomb, the Richie, minus on the pudding, and minus the 0. And the reason why I do that is because the Luffy tower, well, for one, we don't want them to keep getting down back. And the Luffy tower will be at 5k next turn because we're going to Rayleigh again next turn. And so our chopper will be able to swing 5 into the Luffy tower. And normally the chopper would not have had a swing because I'm going to use all the Dawn. So we just let this go because we don't really care that much about the deck. And then we take that because we're at 4 life. We don't really care about going down to 3 life. Then we kill the pudding, and we minus on the Luffy Taro. And then we swing 5 on the Luffy Taro with chopper. And then we swing 7 on Luffy Taro with Marco. And then we swing 8. Well, they Gungam Jai, of course. And then we swing 8 on the Luffy Taro. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty comfortable game from here. Like, we have full board, they have only Chartreuse and only 1 life, and they're not even full Dawn, so we also set curve. When you hit curve versus Green Purple Luffy, you go first and hit curve versus Green Purple Luffy, it's really nice. When you go second and you hit curve, it's like really nice too because Green Purple Luffy doesn't really want to go first. Then we get Yamato, which has become more popular recently. and at least in ranked. And so we keep our first hand because we know they're gonna swing into us because of Yamato. So we can reliably event this turn because Yamato, there's no way they don't swing. And we actually wanted to take this first life, but they summoned the Izo, and so we couldn't just take those first two. Versus because they add the banish. And the reason why we wanted to take the first 2 life is because they already added the 3 cost. That's probably the reason why they put the banish there, just so they could take cards out of hand but not lose their 3 cost play that just kills our chopper, which we already knew they added, and they obviously added, so they know that they want to use that card. And so they almost big misplay because I would took it, and they wouldn't have been able to kill my chopper. But they remember that they need to play their card first so that I do have more than 3 life, and then kill the chopper, or well, before I kill the chopper and then swing 7, and then we just take those because we don't want to keep being above 3 so they can just keep killing our 5 cost and less. And then we swing 5 just because we don't want to play into any triggers, and we want to leave the down up anyways. So yeah, and then I also figured he was gonna take anyway, so I just swung the 5 instead of just adding it on using layer ability. And so we block aggressively here because we have a lot of counter if they decide to swing into our Nami. And the swing that we're scared of is Yamato swing. We're not scared of these other, if they were to swing into face with the this guy, we're going to counter because it's only a 5 swing. And this another one was to counter against 5 swing. It would be the same thing if they swung 7/7 for us, so it doesn't really matter because they're also a bunch of little bodies that they have to add 2 to, so we're just gonna ignore those. And so we do see the event, and we're considering doing that, and we do decide to go for the event play because it is just the probably best play here. And we swing the Marco first just because we don't want him to know that we're swinging Nami, and we see the top card. If we didn't see the top card, I would have swung the Nami first to play around triggers. And so he attaches everything, banishes our life, which I guess is technically a punishment for us swinging our Nami, but honestly, I don't really want our Nami to die anyways, so that's fine. Especially since we have another Nami in hand. I'm not sure if I showed the trash, if it was for a few seconds, but in trash it was a new gate, which would have been a brick, and I think a 1k counter, so it was honestly not that big of a deal, especially since we're just gonna block her out. We swing the Nami, which is kind of risky because we're gonna have 3 blockers, but technically, actually not sure if there is a way because even with Izo here added on, we would still have enough, but but we just wanted to make sure that we do win the next turn, so we do actually swing the Nami. And so we're deciding here is whether there anything that can kill us, because the safe thing to do is just to just counter this, because the next swing, because then it'd be less swings and less counter. But we already calculated that if you were to play this card, and you can't play 2 of it because it costs 2, that we'd be able to counter it. So as far as I was aware, that was enough. And if we get him to go for game, that means it's guaranteed that the next turn, even if we counter the first one, he only had 3 down left up, so he couldn't have been able to put up enough blockers for him to survive. But I think it's just a habit. It's if you know you can survive, just to let them go as far as they can so that they don't have any defense. It's force them to go for game. Or not even force them, because they're not forced. They're never forced, but to make them want to. And we got blue purple Luffy. We just played a Monet because It's really our only play. We don't want to bait them, leave a Dawn up and bait them into like not swinging because we want to take the first life versus blue purple Luffy. And then some player with some chopper, they skill it, and I swing into Richie. We swing 6 with Marco first because we're not scared of the 2-cost event. The main reason is because if they do toss 2-cost event, basically just means that they can potentially Sanji, right? And then they also gain a card. But the thing is like the gain a card kind of cancels out because they toss a counter, and then the Sanji thing, like, it's just like I don't think it's worth it because the Sanjis are gonna hit the board at some point anyways. So and we're just gonna remove the Sanji here. And yeah, the important thing too, also, we just want to apply pressure. And we swing our Nami and our Marco, because there's no reason to keep the Nami up to block, because if they swing too high to face, we're just going to take it. And if they swing too high to wipe your rules counter. And they grab Blade, which is good because we swung with our Nami. And then we're just going to play another Newgate because establishes another removal threat for if they do things. And it gives us a Dawn too, and then we set up for a Shop and Come with us. And so now we're just going to counter this and then summon out our 3/4 chopper. And they play the Kata, which is unfortunate for them because Kata is obviously really easy to remove for us. Because one Rayleigh can just remove it and we can still nice play on the Sanji. But this is actually a misplay because I should have played Monet and then gave 2 Dawn to the chopper. Because if I did that, I could remove both of them. The way I could have done that would have been to play the Monet, give 2 Dawn to the chopper. The Monet would have to minus the Sanji, and the chopper would swing and -3 to the Katakuri, making it 5. And I would play the Rayleigh -2 to the Katakuri and kill it. It would -3 to the Sanji, and then the Sanji would be at 5, and I'll use the Newgate to kill the Sanji, and then this board would be empty. But the key with that play is my leader couldn't swing, so I didn't think about that naturally. But that would have been the correct play because then this board would be empty. Alright, I just want to say thank you for watching again, and please subscribe, like, and comment, and let me know if you have any questions or would like to see anything in future videos. Hopefully I'll do another Marco Ranked Monday next week, and see you next time.